Hey guys, welcome back to this week's episode of Triple R. I'm Dan.
And I'm Hidz.
And we'll be talking about records
that are recent. Oh, nobody's shouting today? Okay.
Oh shit, I thought you were going to. Okay, anyway, we have like 3 different albums that we're going to talk about today as usual. And the first one we're going to start off with is a... Actually, what are we starting with?
We're starting with Cosmic Child.
Cosmic, that's right.
Yeah. Okay. Their EPs and Untitled.
Yes. It was just released recently and they're a shoegaze band based in Singapore. And Hidz, tell me what you think.
Sure. As Dan has mentioned, they're a shoegaze band based in Singapore. They call themselves duvet pop, whatever that means, but it's like, dream poppy, psychedelic, lo-fi, shoegaze kind of vibe. And I love their sound. It brings me back to better times. It's just like the sonic oral version of rose-tinted glasses. Like, just try to like as a thought experiment, like listen to the album, and then you think of any time in your life, like good, bad, mundane, like you having breakfast, then you start thinking that, oh, it's the best time of my life. This is exactly what like this album is, and it's just like nostalgia wrapped up in a song or many songs. Even their album cover, the HDB playground, the pastel hue thing, it's all about nostalgia. So I really like that. Like, it makes me feel golden and it's a good listen.
I agree also, and I think just based on melodies alone, it's very hard to dislike this album.
Yeah,
it's very easygoing.
So sweet, it's so catchy.
Yeah, and like it's like 20 plus minutes, and it breezes past pretty quickly. Vocals are a bit out of place at times, but melodically it just fits so well.
I know what
sometimes you can kind of overlook like some of like the mixing problems that they have, but I think overall it's very enjoyable.
That being said, like the album does sound sweet, but like I think its content is a little more like sadder. It's melancholy, and I like how they are able to juxtapose those emotions together. Well, their liner notes were not liner notes lah. Like nobody has them anymore. I think like Bandcamp notes are the new liner notes. They say that like we hope you enjoy it as much as we hated making it. So I guess they must have had.
They must have hated it so much.
Yeah, they must have had a troublesome process. But whatever, like we appreciate all your hard work and like the dedication and the blood, sweat and tears that went to it, because I enjoyed this very much.
Okay, I'll be giving this album a 7 out of 10.
I'm giving this a 7.5 out of 10. And just FYI, like by the time you see this, like the show will be over, but Cosmic Child is playing Long Live
Empire. That's right. Forest and Subsonic
Eye. And all 4 bands have released really, really good EPs over the last month. Check all of them out, including Cosmic Child, of course. And you can find it on Bandcamp.
Yes. And the second album we'll be talking about is by this mysterious band, trio, duo. We don't even know how many members there are. But they're called Drakar Taso, and the album is called Apocrypha. The album Apocrypha is something that we actually found on Bandcamp. I actually found it through a friend, and they're tagged as Singapore, their location is Singapore, but what is curious is that if you were to search on Google, whether you go Discogs or Facebook, you cannot find anything about them.
There's nothing under them.
And what is more interesting is that the album is actually pressed on vinyl, and the label is called, let me see what is the label's name. Shit, I forgot to note it down. But anyway, they're actually selling vinyl through the label on Bandcamp.
But it's going by a different name on vinyl called The Black Mountain.
That's right. Because The Black Mountain is basically a shorter version of what's available on Bandcamp.
This Bandcamp version has 3 extra tracks. They're titled differently also. We don't have the vinyl, so we don't know what the difference is.
But what was interesting is that the label that they put with the vinyl itself, you cannot find any info about this label at all. And when you were and the thing is, right now the vinyl is actually sold out. But if you were to, when I actually click buy now when you're still available, the shipping is about $15, so that means they're actually not from Singapore.
For sure.
But it could mean that the label is also not from Singapore, and the band could be in Singapore, but we still don't know what the label is.
It's just like this like mysterious guessing game, and I like that.
The entire album is shrouded in mystery. We have no idea, and we are having fun. But what did you think?
Well, I mean, like as you said, it's hard to find background on these guys. They have no Facebook, no Twitter, no Instagram, no label that we know of, or they might not even be real. I don't know. But like, and it's our day jobs. Like literally, it's our livelihoods to find like new music, and like this popped out of nowhere. No idea who the fuck they are, and that intrigues me. But like the intrigue also extends to their music because it's very mysterious. They have like this whole dark wave
which they call dungeon synth.
Synth, which is a whole new term that I like also. I even like the album cover, which immediately sets the tone. It's like those 3 white monks in robes. So it sets the tone right away. And once you delve into it, it's quite a gem. They have tracks titled like long as titles, hold on.
It's an edifice of the 9 swastikas.
And like behold, the king adored in feathers and eyes.
An eagle of fate.
Oh my god, I love the titles, and the titles, as strange as they are, they actually sound exactly like the titles are.
Yeah. It's very eerie, very dark, mysterious stuff. I think what's interesting is that, you know, there's a lot of like these very primitive synths that's around this whole album, but you have like some of these like old plugins of like percussion and all, and I'm gonna assume that everything's all digital lah, because like we don't know for sure whether anything was recorded organically, but by the sound of it, everything sounds very synthetic. Yeah, so like, you know, the fact that they have like the Ableton thing, you know, everything's all sounds synthetic, and you know, they have this consistently dark thing going on. What is quite interesting is that the album sounds pretty. There's actually quite a lot of variation in the album. So you know, like for a track like, you know, Edifice and Nine Swastikas, it's really dark, it's really brooding, and you got something like Eagle of Fate. They play a lot with the melodies also, and it's still dark, it's still eerie, but you know, it's actually surprisingly like an objectively enjoyable listen for me.
Oh yeah, for sure. Like I really enjoy like how avant-garde it is in terms of the atmospherics, and how, as Dan has mentioned, how varied it is. Like it's mixed in between like with like this dark wave and medieval sounding synth and like this dungeon-like ambience and like atmosphere. It's such a dense listen and a varied listen. I've really enjoyed this a lot. I'm actually going to rate this a 9 out of 10, which is one of the highest rated local albums I've ever rated.
I'm going to give it an 8 out of 10. I enjoyed this a lot. Yeah.
Cool, okay. So definitely go find this on Bandcamp. Yeah. And if you know who they are, please tell us.
And we're down to the third album for this episode. It is the duo from Providence, Rhode Island. They are called The Body. And the new album is called No One Deserves Happiness. So the Body is actually I don't know, like I could call them a metal duo, but like they've been resisting the label as of late, but let's just call them a noise duo for now. The music that they've been working on is fairly pretty, very heavy.
It's like bleak and misery.
Yeah. It's bleak and misery defined really, because like you listen to the album and I don't know, if you feel like shit already, the album doesn't do anything better, but it will make you, it will feel therapeutic because you can really feel that they understand how it feels like. Yeah. So, but anyway,
you've been a fan of this band for a while, right?
Yeah, definitely. Like I've been following them for a while already, ever since the album Christ Redeemers 2013. So the band themselves, like they've experimented a lot, you know. They've had like the sludge guitars, they've like the screeching vocals, but you know, they've collaborated with like a dark ambient producer, Hex and Cloak. They've collaborated with sludge metal band Tau. So they've been all over the place. They've collaborated with female choir also on their albums. So
yeah, a week after they released this album, they actually put out a collaborative album called One Day You Will Ache Like I Ache, which is
it was with this grindcore band called Full of Hell. So like they're kind of all over the place in like the extreme world. And but at this time, No One Deserves Happiness, they actually called it their pop album. So they actually kind of labeled it gross pop. And if you were to listen to the album, you probably wouldn't understand what gross pop is, but it is definitely the Body's most accessible work. But
relative to the Body lah.
Definitely. But what do you think?
Well, I am not as versed in the Body as Dan is. In fact, I actually discovered them via the Hex and Cloak, which is one of my favorite producers on Triangle. So I was really intrigued with what the Hex and Cloak did with them. So I checked out their album I Shall Die Here, which was really, really good. And I became a fan ever since. This particular album is their 4th full length, I believe. And it's just like very, very compelling. It's like sludgy, doom metal, noise rock, and this like an exercise in utter despair and misery. So I believe this is the 4th full-length release for these two. They're a duo, right? Chip King and Lee Buffett. Really digging this. It's a super compelling listen. It's sludgy, doom metal, noise rock, and exercise in like utter despair and misery. And that's what I think makes it so invigorating and vital. Like it's so strange the way it works. This might be the band's most like accessible statement of intent, which I don't get because it's not accessible, but you know, it's fine.
Yeah, it's accessible on their terms.
On their terms, so like I get it now, but like it's so heavy, and I love how heavy they are. But at the same time, it's not just all misery and darkness. There's a bit of lightness to it and hope.
And this thing, like there has never ever been like that kind of element in their albums at all.
So maybe this is why they're calling it like poppy a bit lah. In particular, a lot of the lighter elements, aspects are down to the vocal contributions of let me see, Marilee Armstrong and Chrissy Walpert. Apparently, Walpert and her Assembly of Light, she's the conductor of that choir, have been long-time associates of the Body, and her role as part of the band is now more pronounced. And along with Armstrong, they provide vocals on like 80% of the album, and they add that lighter touch to it.
One thing about like the bleak and despair elements of their music, you know, while a lot of metal bands have already been like that, they've produced like that, separates the body out of most bands for me is that they've been utterly honest about it. There's something genuine about what they're writing about, because if you compare all their albums, you know, the lyrics, and just the overall content of the albums, there's a lot of variation, even though they're just pretty much approaching the same topics. So especially for like No One Deserves Happiness, this is them like pushing the extremities in different fashions. So right now you've got like all these different elements and like instrumentation that they've never ever like tackled before. Yeah, it's kind of a combination of what they've done so far, especially with Hex and Cloak and Dao, but it's all packaged together with this new, I guess, like this new kind of, I wouldn't say sadistic, but it's dark, but at the same time, at the end of it there is a light. It can be uplifting. So there is like a sense of conclusion at the end of the album compared to most of the albums.
Yeah. And when you're a dark and heavy and like extreme band, it's hard for you to kind of be adventurous and like break out the pigeonhole. And that's the thing I appreciate about the Body, because like they're going out of their way to experiment on this, and that's really cool. I mean, it's ominous and claustrophobic in its own way, but and it explores like the deepest, darkest corners of the human condition, but there is grace to it.
Yeah.
So I really like that.
Yeah. I'm actually gonna give this a 9 out of 10. This is definitely gonna be one of my favorite albums of the year.
Cool. I really like this too. This is an 8 out of 10 for me.
So if you have any albums that you'd like us to review, please do let us know in the comment section down below, and don't forget to subscribe.
Peace.